Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking some Titebond 3 and some water, and you'll see it's kind of swirly. That's the water going in. I don't want these lumps because I'm going to send this through kind of a fancy glue dispenser with a fine point needle, and these lumps could actually plug the needle. So I'm going to smear that up on the side. So that's the glue. So this area I think is ready for Quikwood. The reason I'm mixing the glue, and I've given it plenty of relief here. I actually want to have, I think, a Quikwood all the way across here so it can grab that. It's kind of a veneer on like a thin board. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to dribble in some Titebond here with a needle, and I want to thin it out so it runs down and grabs onto the veneers and helps close this up going farther down and reinforces whatever's going on in there. So anyways, I'm using two different kinds of glue. I'm going to do the Quikwood, but I'm going to, wherever it makes sense, try to reinforce what's left of the particle board and close up the veneers. So that's why I'm doing that. So there it is. It's a squeeze bottle thing from Woodcraft. It's not theirs, but they carry it. So there's some sloshy Titebond 3. Somebody said that it didn't seem like it ever water it down too much that it wouldn't still work. So I'm hoping that's the case, and that's for real. There's a needle there. Safety's on. I just popped off. Okay, there's the needle. Just have to twist it on a little harder. Needed both hands. So we're good to go there. Just going to set that on a surface. It won't leave a mark. Okay, it's glove time. Going blue because that's what I got stuck with at Costco, and they're out of my kind of favorite beige colored gloves. First things first, gonna dribble some glue around that's probably enough for now. Make sure I squish that. I'm gonna need more clamps. But in the meantime, I'm going to mix up more Quikwood than I ever mixed up in my life at one time. I keep a really old, beat up serrated knife for occasions like this. And generally I'm guesstimating about how much of a stick I need. I think it's going to be, actually I'm just going to cut a piece off and do this in sections. So serrated knife, serrations are getting a little gummed up. Clean that out, but that helps cut through the plastic. And then it's a two-part thing if we can get the colors. There you go. There's an activator. It's kind of a white inside, and then it's kind of a beige exterior, which is, I'm assuming, kind of like the resin versus the activator. What I'm holding is the Mixol number 22. It's the tobacco. Got this from Woodcraft. And so this is one of my new favorite things, is putting some pigment into my Quikwood mixing. It just helps kind of disguise the fact that I'm putting a thermo, like a cold plastic, into my furniture work. I'm not sure how it affects the bond and everything, but so far so good. I mix quite a bit in. It's my understanding you can take pigments from gel stain and put them into Quikwood to change the color or add color. So I'm hoping that the Mixol is also a way to do it. I'm going to need quite a bit of Quikwood. I'm figuring out here. Since this stuff is pigmented, I might just pack it in up here. And I'm going to need quite a bit more than what I have. I'm actually going to dribble some glue in here too. I'm going to shove some Quikwood in there. It's going to look like a big weird piece of gum holding together somebody's furniture. That's all right. Better than tossing a nice MCM dresser in the garbage. So I'm really not sure. It's such a big void. Normally I have some idea of how much I'm mixing here, but I'm just kind of going for it. And honestly, this Quikwood's getting a little stiff. I think it's getting a little old. So it might just be kind of drying out with too much exposure to air here. So it's probably a good time to put it to work and thank it for its service. Sometimes a little heat actually speeds up the activation, which can be problematic, but sometimes it helps it loosen up a little bit and be a bit more workable. So I'm just going to pack it in until it feels pretty flush. I still need more than that. It's a 20-minute set time, so hoping I got enough time to clamp it up. Still have to do the front. I'm hoping this will be enough. It's going to be close. Shout out to Mixall. Thanks for the work you do out there in, I believe, Germany. Your high quality pigments. As far as clamps, I'm using some, I believe, parallel clamps, or I call them cabinet clamps. All right, so what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to throw some in the front. So it's going to look a lot like this operation. I'll come back and fill this. Although, let's just see how far away we are here. So when that gets packed, it's going to be pretty close. Okay, so that might be pretty good. Okay, so I've mashed in a bunch of Quikwood in the front here as well, and then put in some tight bond where I can get it. So we'll see how this all holds together when the clamps. Okay, so phase one of clamping is complete. I got way out on the edge to get the veneers lined up, and those seem to be squished pretty well. And now I need to see if I can still get clamps around and crush in these bubbled out sides. It's going to be a little tricky here, I think, but we'll see. If I really compress this, it might help that to shape a little bit. Well, let's take a look. Okay, so the lighting's not the best, but there's a big Quikwood brain here, just a big lump that got squeezed out. I use this for a spacer, and I use this for a caul to kind of spread the pressure, because well, it's tough to clamp when I'm squeezing it the other way, is what I'm saying. Same thing over here. So I'm going to get a chisel, and I'm going to carve that extra Quikwood out of there while it's soft, because otherwise it's just a bear to try and scrape that out. It gets really hard. I think 5 times harder than a lot of woods. So anyways, we'll pull the clamps off in a couple hours and see how it looks. Okay, I don't know where the microphone and my tripod is, so I got to do this one-handed, which will be a little weird, but time to move the bus. I'm going to pull the clamps off. This big guy over here, and then work this clamp off. Hopefully I didn't glue my cauls here on too much. I didn't put tape on them. Oh boy. Ah, there we go. All right. That is one blown out edge squished together. That is really good. And then that as well is, let's see how that looks. Okay. It's pretty much more than flush, which means I can take a file, probably cut that back, level this out, and again, look at those lines. I mean, there's a little bit, just the wings out just a hair. And this guy, you know, a little bit of nutmeg gel stain on these chipped up pieces, and that is like a brand new dresser, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say that was about a 78-yard field goal that I just nailed.